Welcome to Mama T Energy. I'm Tiara, aka Mama T, and I invite you on a journey to loving your life through stories, channeled messages, and energy work. I love life, and it is my mission to guide you and millions like us to discovering our passion for life. Let's open our hearts and dive in. Hello, my love. I'm back. I'm here. I am ready to dive in deep. If you've been following me for a while, then you might have noticed I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. And in all honesty, I stopped the podcast in the beginning just to take a little break, to take a breather. And then I didn't come back because I didn't hear anybody say they missed it. I told myself if people cared, they would say something, they would speak up, they would ask. And at the end of the day, I've recognized that it's about me, you, and us. Yes, for me, this has been my storytelling, my journal of my journey. This podcast began for twofold. One, to process my experience within my journey, but also to connect with people. And to be honest, yeah, it was also a way to showcase my gifts and bring in new clients. And I had this feeling of failure that people weren't listening. I wasn't getting the clients. So obviously, what I was doing was not bringing forward what I intended. But I'd come here with a new vigor, with a new voice, with new inspiration. I saw a post today and it said, "You're speaking to the one person. The people who are already in the room are the ones that matter more than those who are coming in." And so for you who's here, who's already in the room, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. And within this energy and this newfound confidence and conviction, I know that the stories that I share and everything that comes forward through this podcast, through Mama T Energy, is enough. Enough to create shifts and changes within my life, within your life, within our lives. And in these shifts and changes, potentially, clients may show up, but opportunities will continue to open up and showcase. This is a expansion of energy and the energetic field to create magic and miracles. So there's been so much that's happened since the last time I have chatted with you. I've gotten more tattoos. I feel called to share my favorite tattoo that I've gotten since the last time I spoke with you, but we'll get to that in a second, because it's a full story and I love the legend behind it, if you will. Um, there's been miracles and beauty. So, with that, let's start with the tattoos. To begin, it was a magical journey to get to the space to be in front of this tattoo artist and to meet her. I met Danielle at a retreat called Remembrance 2 in Brennan, Washington. And getting to Brennan, Washington, and even discovering the existence of this retreat came through my apprenticeship and my mentor, who was going to be a facilitator and was a facilitator at this retreat. So I remember when it came forward, I was sitting in the front seat of my mentor's car. Her name is Sochi. And Sochi was chatting about the fact that, she's going to Washington and she's going to be a facilitator at this retreat. And we were talking about men and, my desire to meet my divine masculine, my desire to find my romantic life partner. And she was like, well, this retreat would probably, not accent, I don't know why. But she was like, this retreat would be a really cool opportunity for you to meet some divine men, regardless of if, they were actually going to be my partner. But like, this would be an amazing opportunity to, be shoulder to shoulder with some men that are doing the work and feel what that feels like to be around in a sacred space like that. I was like, that sounds awesome. I want to be there. And I was like, should I look into it? Should I go? Like, she was telling me the price point and all of that. And I was like, I don't know, is this right for me? And all of a sudden her she has like a dangling sachet from the mirror, her mirror of her car, and it started to swing in the pendulum sign of yes for me. And so I was like, oh, this is a yes from the universe that I need to be at this retreat. And so while we're talking, I just like go online and I'm like looking at it. I go to their Instagram and decide to like just straight up DM them and see if they're looking for volunteers rather than like participants. And when I sent the DM, I was able to get on a phone call. And on that phone call, I was told that they were tapped out on the need of volunteers, but more than welcome to invite me as a participant. And at that time, I was like, yeah, I feel like I should be there, but I don't think I'm supposed to be there as a participant. I think I'm supposed to be there in another way, right? In a good way. And in a way of supporting and service. And so I looked at it and the opportunity to like, show up as a participant at a discounted rate was coming by, was passing by. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna like lean into the fear. If I get to get there as a volunteer, amazing. If not, maybe it's not meant to be because I am not feeling the trigger to like be sign up as a participant. So, days go by, whatever. And then next thing you know, I see that Sochi has shared a post that they're looking for kitchen crew and people to support in the kitchen. And I love, one of my love languages is to cook for others. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds like a fun thing to do. And probably within 24 hours of me sending in my application to work in the kitchen, I was approved. And there you go. I had this opportunity to be a volunteer. So it was magical in how it showed up to be able to go and be a part and support and service of Remembrance too. And so I'm there, I'm having a good time. I recall seeing Danielle in the dining hall, but I never actually got an opportunity to chat with her. And I was just like, I just remember looking at her and being like, oh wow, she's gorgeous. And I love her tattoos, her ritual markings, and went about my day. And then just so happens the second to last day I'm in town, I like walk by someone who has just received a tattoo from Danielle, and I was like, that is amazing. And I want, like, I don't, she was telling me about the whole process and how it was very ceremonial. And I was like, I want this experience. Like, experience is calling to me. Yes, please. And so the another friend also was like, yeah, I need this to happen. So we walk up and we're like, I like didn't even know that this tent that was sitting there the whole week that I was there was actually someone doing tattoos within the tent. And so I walk over and there's like a list still of people and I go ahead and sign my name to the list. And my friend was able to get in that day, but it was a long it was a long night for her. And so they were like, I really need some rest. Danielle needed some rest. And there was a couple of people ahead of me. And so she was like, tomorrow. And so tomorrow came, we're doing the thing. And long story short, I end up being the last client that Danielle sees during this retreat, and it happens to be on a like right around the full moon, and it's a red full moon, and it's gorgeous and glorious, and this was such a sacred ritual. We talked about my journey, what I've been going through, like presently, and the most recent timeline, as well as like overarching what I've experienced in my life. And I was talking about the fact that at the time I was in the middle of a program that was talking about the different archetypes of women and men, and how I have been like navigating this transition between like the maiden, the mother, and the crone archetypes, and how I feel within myself of like switching between these divine archetypes of feminine energy. And she was like, I think the triple goddess, which is the three moons, would be a great tattoo for you. And it would also go with like this tattoo that I already have, which is like moons. I also have a sun over here. And so it was like, it would be on theme. And I'm like, yeah, I love that idea. That would be great. And then we're talking, and then she does her, stepping away and designing, and then comes back and she's like, okay, just kidding. Oh, we're not gonna go with the triple goddess. As I listened to your story, and what came to mind was a vision of an eye. The eye aligning with the oracle, which in the beginning of my journey of being a healer and tapping into my spirituality and mastery of spiritual practices, the tarot was one of the first tools that I used and felt super comfortable with and was like ready to showcase to the world. I began at learning tarot through my Reiki, embody Reiki course and program that I was into, and um, Reiki seemed to get hit with a lot of how do I phrase this? I got a lot of flack from people that were close to me for being a Reiki practitioner, and I didn't feel quite as comfortable sharing about it on social media over time. But tarot was something that always had some sort of like, somebody was always looking for a reading, somebody was always open and interested in that work. And so it felt like something that was divinely supported, and I felt super comfortable with it and continuing that practice. And so Danielle was like, yeah. So the eye is a symbol of like being an oracle, being a seer, and the rest kind of fell into place around it. And so let me show you, if you are watching on like YouTube, you get the visual of it. And so it's like an amulet on my arm here. And then there's a matching one on the other side. I'm like so obsessed with it. So we have the eye symbolizing the oracle. And then we have these diamond shapes that are the clarity coming under pressure as we go through our life's journey, right? We get clarity and guidance. The more that we ask, the more we get confidence, the more that we follow the intuitive hits and the opportunities that come our way. And so it's like the best clarity, the most clear and valuable diamonds come under the toughest pressure. Yeah. So we have that. And then we have these four dots here, which are seeds of growth within the mastery of my gifts and the work that I do. Yes. And I love the ritual, the tribal look of this tattoo, right? It feels very connected to indigenous as well as African lineage. And we also had a discussion of feeling disconnected from our ancestors, from the like logical sense of not knowing exactly everything about our ancestry, due to the like decolonization of Black culture and slavery and all of that, and the depths that have come within that, but also just this knowing and this ancestral search on our own. I'm actually actively reading a book right now called The Hairstins. I'm probably about to butcher that word. Um, let's see. And while I'm listening to this book and I'm hearing all of these names of people that could potentially be related to me, not knowing exactly how they're related to me, I am feeling the gratitude and the pride that someone has taken the time to do this research of people, of a group of people that have the same name as me, and unearthing both stories of the white lineage as well as the black lineage and melding them together. And so I'm really grateful that even if it's like just a teeny drop of relation to me, these people that are named, I still know that this is a part of my story and a common story for many Black Americans who don't know anything about where they came from and may have even had slave owners who have um, fathered their parts of their lineage and been shunned and sold off and all of these things. And so it's deep work. And so, as I unearth and uncover and learn more and connect it deeper into that knowledge from a standpoint of who am I, that is where more clarity comes for me and more understanding comes for me and more strength and confidence and doing the spiritual ancestral work of tapping in and asking for support is coming forward. So I'm really excited for this continued journey and growth. And if you want support and help in this work, shoot me a DM. I would love to chat with you. I am Tiara Janae on Facebook and Mama T Energy on Instagram. I'm also Mama T Energy on TikTok, but I don't really hop on TikTok as much as I used to. I'm mostly on Instagram and Facebook these days. And I also invite you, if you're looking for work, whether you're looking to do energy healing, receive a reading, want to do a full on ceremony. I do offer in person ceremonies now, in which we will do like a plática where we get to have a heart to heart discussion. From there, move into healing work, which could look like body work, which could look like Reiki and energy healing. It could look like a sound bath. It all really depends on what it is that your mind, body, and spirit are really calling for. More so your body and your spirit and my intuition of guiding what that session is going to look like between an hour and 90 minutes. And so if you are near the downtown LA area or willing to get to the downtown LA area, I would love to work with you in person. And hey, if you're also open to bringing me to wherever in the world you are, I'm open to that conversation of traveling to do the work. So that's my little story. And I promise to show up. I will not be doing 2 episodes a week like I was in the past. I'm going to be in flow and I'm going to take time to really integrate and share as we move forward. I do want to bring on and continue to bring on more interviewees. So if you yourself have a story that you would like to share, shoot me a DM, or if you know someone that you think would resonate really well on this podcast, share them with me, create an introduction. I would love to have them. And with that, I will see you where I see you next.